Hello and welcome to Let's Talk SEO. So on the 8th of August, Google announced that they were going to remove how-to snippets from mobile devices, and they were going to remove FAQs for mobile devices and also desktop devices. So how much of an impact has that had? Well, I have not been able to put in the research to find out, to dig through all the data, but apparently Glenn Gabe has done the research and has put out a lot of this data on his website. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go through the data that has been published on GSQI, which is really what they've done is analyzed the removal of FAQs from a lot of the websites, or apparently from a lot of the websites, and how Google has said that they were only going to show FAQ data and maybe even featured snippets or rich text snippets or rich snippets or whatever you want to call it. They're only going to show that if it's from a reputed medical source or reputed governmental organization, and that's the only ones that are going to get it. But so on a personal basis, before I go into this, but on a personal basis, I have not seen a major impact of this happening. Many of my clients have not been affected. I'm still seeing FAQ data on mobile devices. I'm still seeing FAQ show up on desktop devices. So overall, there has been no impact yet. But August Core 2023 update that's running right now may eventually end up removing featured snippets and FAQs and other types of these snippets that we were used to having show up on SERPs, removing these for the most part. Now, when that exactly happens will be towards the end of the update. Right now, no idea, nobody knows. So let's jump right into the data over here, published by Glenn Gabe. What he has done here is, I've gone ahead, I've put this on screen. You can see the methodology that he has used to go through the data. So I will not go through each and every step. You can read this, you can pause the video and read this. So what I would like to do is to get into his findings. So he says, first up, I analyze the impact of FAQ snippets being removed. So he's got the first one, it shows stable. So you can see that first, you can see the removal from the mobile search results as expected on August 8, 2023. Clicks drop off a cliff for listings that contained FAQ snippets. Note, this doesn't mean clicks drop for the site, just that Google stopped providing FAQ snippets. So obviously FAQ snippets were removed in this case, and so if they're not showing, there are no impressions, there are no clicks. In the announcement, Google explained FAQ snippets would be removed from desktop search results. But that's not what I'm seeing across sites. For example, checking desktop, you can see FAQ snippets are live. So this is what I am seeing as well. And clicks actually increased after the changes were implemented, but that can be influenced by impressions increasing too. So I've not seen an increase in impressions personally on my clients' websites or either on any one of my own websites, but he has the data to back it up. So I assume that there are websites out there that have benefited from them. When checking the impact of clicks and CTR when filtering via regex that receive FAQ snippets on mobile, I can't see much impact on clicks. Clicks are stable and CTR looks normal based on history of the site. So I would deduce here is that Google hasn't gone out and outright rolled out FAQ snippets entirely for all websites across the internet, but this will be gradually rolled out. And so this kind of case study is kind of early, but Glenn has said this will be updated later on if things change. The next case is also here, also stable. So this in a second website, it shows FAQ snippets via regex. As you can see that it's pretty much the same. This website has not seen a reduction in overall traffic or overall clicks to the website. It has kind of been volatile, as he said, but it's fine. The number 3 is there's a click-through rates drop. So this is mainly because this is a YMYL site. So, and these are going to be the sites that are most affected, sites in the YMYL niche. So based on what I saw from the two websites, as I'm quoting from the article, I was fully expecting to see others to follow. But the third site I dug into was an interesting one. Mobile CTR dropped when FAQ snippets were removed from mobile search results. For this site, I could see that niche, that it could be the niche that's the reason. It's a YMYL, your money, your life category, and those FAQ snippets could have helped the listing stand out, provide information to users, and get more people to click through. It's hard to say exactly why the site was an outlier, but you can clearly see it is certainly an outlier, but I would not say if it's an outlier in financial and medical niches. Now, I don't have many websites in the finance or medical niche, but if you're watching this, if you've seen a drop in your traffic, just let me know in the comments below. For the next one, and he has gone through quite a few of these sites, but the next one is an interesting one, and this is for the how-to snippets. Now, a lot of my clients rank for the how-to snippets, and they are still ranking for the how-to snippets, but apparently this is not going to be a long-term thing, because Google is going to remove this, and Glenn Gabe himself has a few websites that are in the how-to niche, and he ranks well for the how-to niche, for the how-to snippets. So if you look at this, there's some data here. It says the how-to snippets provide an amazing SERP treatment. All right, so how would the removal of those how-to snippets impact clicks and CTR? Well, as we're seeing, it's not much information. So he's kind of, as you can see below, clicks and CTR are stable, though the removal on mobile. So they have been removed on mobile devices, according to him, even though I have seen the how-to snippet on mobile devices. So it's maybe not across the world, and maybe it's just in the US for now. But as I see it right now, it's what he's showing right now, this is pretty stable. And even though it has been removed on mobile devices, you know, it's not had a major effect on his website. But again, I mean, I think it's too early to tell whether or not this is going to have an effect. So the TLDR of this video is, for some sites, the removal of the FAQ snippets and the how-to snippets are not going to have a big impact, but there are some websites that may be impacted majorly by this happening. I would argue that this is a little too early for us to gauge, but we'll keep an eye on it. I'll keep an eye on it. It's worth mentioning at this point that there are a few variables here that need to be considered. The first being that even though Google has announced that FAQ snippets will be removed off both mobile and desktop devices, I am seeing FAQ snippets, and even Glenn Gabe said he's seeing as FAQ snippets still on mobile and desktop devices. So it's not been entirely removed across all industries and across all countries. The second thing that needs to be kept in mind is that the how-to snippet has only been removed from mobile devices. So a lot of your traffic, if it was coming from mobile devices, then you might be more affected as compared to if you were not getting as much traffic from mobile devices, because it's still showing up on desktop devices. And remember, the reason Google cited why they're removing the how-to snippet in the first place from mobile devices was because it was taking up too much space on SERPs. So that's the excuse they gave us. That's what we're going to run with. The third thing I'm just going to say here that it's too early for us to tell. There is a core algorithm update running right now, and I think the core algorithm update is going to address a lot of these things, and the data after the core algorithm update is going to be more interesting to see. But for now, this is what we're saying. You don't need to be very concerned unless your website was hit, which I don't think is going to be the case for many people over here. So I hope you liked the video, like and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one.